Celeste.
And I'm Morgan.
And we are Hexen Arcane. And where are we, Morgan?
This is the Burge Fountain. It was named after a gentleman. I can't recall his first name right now. And I really just read this too. He was one of the first children born of the early settlers here in Whitewater.
Yeah, so we are in Whitewater, Wisconsin today, which has a lot of cool history, which we'll be exploring.
Yes.
We're also showing a wonderful movie.
We are. What's it called?
The Ring of Terror. It's a 1962 film. It's probably one of the lowest rated films we're ever going to show. This one's bad, folks. It's bad. There's not even that much to say about it besides how bad it is. But yet, I have a weird love for it. I just love bad movies.
Strange love.
And the story follows this college student who's trying to pledge for a fraternity. And so his pledge is to break into the morgue and steal a ring from a corpse. And all the college hijinks that go along with really bad college movies, played with college students played by geriatric teenagers.
But that sounds like an awesome story plot, though. Like, for his pledge, he's got to go steal a ring off of a dead person. Like, that's got possibilities.
Yeah, the story has lots of promise. Every college student is probably at least in their 40s.
For real?
30s, 40s, yeah, you'll look, see, they look old. So that's one of the things I enjoy watching this movie is how clearly they did not cast people around college age. You're supposed to be 22, dude. You're late, minimum 35.
I wonder, did they do this movie as like a midlife crisis so they could like revert back to that time period?
Reliving their college days, which, by the way, speaking of reliving college days, oh, I got my dress in the fountain. It's all wet. Guess I won't be doing that.
So, you're here, what, on a cheerleader scholarship?
You said we were going to college.
I said we were going to visit college.
Oh.
But one moment, Celeste, since you wore your college outfit. Oh, my best friend in the fountain too. And there goes my
soggy bottoms.
So, I see why you're here. This is why I am here.
College! Yes, that's an iconic sweater. If you don't know what it's from, shame on you.
Yeah, and I think you and I are about to go down two very different academic paths here.
Oh, Morgan, speaking of academic paths.
What?
Morgan.
What?
Why did the son skip college?
Because he was too tired? I don't... Why?
Because he already had 1 million degrees. No?
That's a really bad dad joke.
Well, and then I'm ready to play a teenager in this movie.
I think so.
You guys, relax, grab a snack, watch this movie that I love, and hopefully you will love too, even though it's very poorly rated.
It's great though.
It's got 1.8 stars on IMDb, so you know it's a winner. And we are going to take a little tour around Whitewater.
I'm taking her on a tour.
Yes, I have no idea where we're going. She said college, so here we are.
We got a good surprise for her next.
I'm doing video.
What?
I'm doing video.
I know. I'm sitting here wishing. Why are you taping this?
Because you said you were going to wish, and I was trying to... What are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you cheating for more wishes?
No, I'm not.
Morgan, you can't pull them back out of
Oh,
there.
yes, I can.
If you do, I want to wish one. Give me one. I wish my sister laughed at my joke. Wait, if I say it out loud, it doesn't come true, right? No!
I was silent.
I wish my sister would reach in and grab more tennis. Ah, I said it out loud again.
Woo! It's windy. I don't think I can reach those.
Alright, you make a wish. What are you wishing for?
Well, I can't say it out loud.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Wishing for food.
Hey, if you say it out loud, it doesn't come true.
I'm not getting specific, but oh my god, I'm stoked.
goodness. I did one. That was silent. You know what I wished for?
What?
I wish I could grab that away from you and throw it in. I wasted my wish. Ah! It came true though.
See, when you took my penny out of my hand, I was halfway through that wish.
Uh-oh, so I wished it for you?
No, I just couldn't complete the wish because then you got the other half of the wish, so, oh boy.
I wonder what'll happen from this.
Well, I got into the part where I would like to see, like, Godzilla and other giant monsters fight it out.
Hopefully
But there
movie
was
theater.
specifics. Yes, there was, and I didn't get to that part.
Uh-oh. Maybe we better go.
I wish for, like, giant monsters.
Let me invite you for a stroll down Graveyard Lane, where beauty and love abide. And in death, we are born to eternal life. All monuments, from the simplest to elaborate, stand erect on the closed books of the lives of our beloved departed. And each marker withholds many stories, some filled with happiness, some filled with sorrow. I wonder, what would they do if they had the chance to relive their lives again? What would you do? Yuma? 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 Yuma?
Yuma? Yuma? Yuma? Come to rigor. Where are you? Ah. Don't be afraid, Yuma. Don't be afraid. Yuma! Oh, there you are, Puma. Nice kitty. Yes. Nice Puma. Were you frightened, Puma? Nice kitty. Yes, Puma. Now, just you and I go for a stroll, huh? I'm sorry, Puma. I didn't mean to step on you. Puma? Puma! Puma! Puma? Puma? Puma! Where are you? Don't be afraid. There, Puma. Come to rigor, Puma. I'm sorry I hurt you. I didn't mean to step on you. Louis B. Moffat. February 3rd, 1933. November 17, 1955. I feared not. I remember him. I remember. Louis B. Moffat.
Anybody hungry? Waiting for you. I'm ready. Come on, the girls will be there.
Where are you going?
To the cafeteria.
Oh, not now. Maybe later.
Say, when is your first lecture in dissection?
It's any day now.
You're in for quite a treat. Professor Rayburn is a terrific cut-up. Say, how's your stomach, Lou?
Physically, I'm fine, but technically, well, that's another story. I gotta keep hitting the books.
Betty might be at the cafeteria. Ah, come on, let's leave. Let's go, fellas. I'm stuck. I hope the hamburgers are good tonight.
Quite frankly, I was never so bored in all my life. We parked on the drive, and the first thing he did was turn the car light on. Aw. Then he opened the glove compartment, took out some paper, and read me 7 chapters from a book he's writing. What's the name of the book? Oh, that I remember. He called it The Beat Evolution.
Alice, are you sure there were no calls on it?
The phone hasn't rung even once. Has it, Bunny?
Not even once. Gee, that's funny. When Louis says he'll call, he's always right on the dot. I wonder if anything's wrong.
Are you kidding? Nothing will ever happen to that one.
Why not? He's just like any other human being.
Is he? Not from what I hear.
What do you hear, Alice?
Well, Jerry says he's got nerves that won't quit.
My boyfriend Seymour says he likes him. Alice, you were saying something. I sure wish you'd finish.
I just happen to think he's a little on the oddball side, that's all.
Well, you might not if you understood him.
Do you understand him?
I think I do. Well, pretty well, anyway. I always get the feeling that there's a fight going on inside of him. I can't quite explain it to you, but it's like there were 2 people inside of him, 2 separate personalities trying to gain control. I know I'm not putting it right, but I know how I feel when I'm with him.
Betty, I think you're in love with the man.
I could be, if it weren't for one thing.
What's that?
Nothing seems to shake him. He's not afraid of anything. It might hurt him someday. What do you think?
Oh, could go crazy trying to figure the answer to that one.
I'm going to call him.
Well, it's going to start getting pretty sticky in here in a few minutes. I'm going over to Jenny's room. See you at the cafeteria. Come on, let's go to the cafeteria.
Things huge.
Hey, Morgan.
Hi, Celeste.
So we are here in Whitewater, Wisconsin today,
Yes, we are.
also known as Second Salem, which we'll talk about more later. But why
Why did I tell you to wear that? And why am I wearing this?
are we going to college?
Not exactly. I don't really want to go.
Oh,
But I want to show you something. And
What
we
is
should
it?
Totally crash a frat party too while we're here.
yes.
Okay, so this really cool house behind us. Do you know what the house is?
No, but it's beautiful.
This is the original Animal House. Animal House.
Animal
like,
House?
from the movie.
You told me something about animals, and so I wore the ears.
Oh no.
You
know,
said animals.
That's not the same. It's you're okay.
Oh, is it embarrassing? Okay, losing the ears.
Thank you very much. But then again, I'm one to talk. I mean, I think that's why we keep getting beeped at.
So what makes this the original Animal House?
What makes this the original Animal House? That iconic scene where D-Day rides his motorcycle up the stairs.
Yes.
This is the house where that scene was filmed at, supposedly. That's the rumor that I have heard.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is really neat.
And they say, I guess, that there's still tire marks in the stairs here from that scene. And the throat playing, too, in the movie. Like, that was also filmed here, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, didn't John Belushi have a history in Whitewater here?
Yes, he did. John Belushi actually attended UW Whitewater for a small amount of time, but he didn't really attend class from what I heard. He was
Here to party?
Yeah, I think so. So Animal House, like his character in there is largely based off of his experiences at college.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. So you were telling me that this not only was a scene filmed here, but he hung out here,
and
that's
the rumor.
Then that inspired some of the scenes from the movie that he like based his experiences off of. Okay, very cool.
This is exciting.
So this is the Animal House.
Yeah, I know much of the movie though was filmed in Eugene, Oregon. So I don't know if that was just the university scenes that were filmed out there or what, but at least one scene is rumored to have been filmed here.
That's cool. I wish we could know for sure if that's the truth, but
and today it's a bed and breakfast. Like,
it's interesting trivia if that's the case. Here you can see a little bit more of the Hamilton house. Like we were saying earlier, it was partly supposedly a filming location for Animal House, and the time that John Belushi spent in this house and at Whitewater School was some of the inspiration for the movie Animal House. So I think that's really cool. It's a really cute town, but it's also known for having some good parties. So I really think that there's some truth to this legend, and it's really cool looking at this building. We tried to be respectful. This is now a bed and breakfast in operation, so we tried to stay off their grounds and be quiet when filming and not disrupt anything. But as you can see, it's a beautiful building.
Hello? This is Louis Moffat. Betty, I missed you at the cafeteria.
I was at the hairdresser's.
Oh? On account of our date?
What else?
Well, you're going to be the slickest chick at that ever-loving hop. What are you doing?
Waiting for you to ask me what I'm doing.
Well, the gang have gone down to the cafeteria. Would you like to join them?
I'll pick you up.
Now, that's what I call service. Send Mr. Moffat's car around to the door, James.
Gee, you must have jets on this heap.
My launching pad is only 3 blocks away, remember?
Yeah.
Let's continue. To the moon.
To the moon. Can't we spend a quiet evening, like alone?
Well, we're expecting Professor Rayburn to notify us. The fellas ought to all be together in case he does. You know, the autopsy's being conducted at City Morgue, and John Does don't grow on slabs every day.
We wouldn't be gone long.
Okay, we go for a short drive, moonlight, and then to the cafeteria.
You're so romantic. Magnolia blossoms. Aren't they lovely? I wish you were studying law or architecture or engineering or anything except medicine.
But, darling...
Well, just because your father was a doctor doesn't mean you have to carry on with a life that was set by someone else.
Betty, we've been over all that before. I'm studying medicine not because Dad was a doctor, but because, well, I feel I have the qualifications that'll make a good doctor. For instance, I'm not afraid of any of it. I'm not afraid of the blood or the corpses or the operations. And things like that are important for a doctor to do his duties well. I'm sorry, Betty, if you're not interested in all that.
It's my fault, darling. I'll never bring up the subject again.
It's a rattler. Hold still, Betty. Are you all right, Betty?
I'm all right, Louis. You're not afraid of anything. Not anything.
sodas would you like the best?
Oh, honey, Tuck, I enjoy them all. I'd like to try a raspberry. You'll have another one with me?
I shouldn't. Well, all right. Hey, Howard, come here a minute, will you?
What is it, Tiny?
Bring Ragdoll another soda. Make it raspberry, will you? Hey, make it 2.
2 raspberry sodas. For the last of the big-time spenders. Hi, Jenny. I don't know. I wonder what happened to him. Oh, if I know him, he still is dead. Odd fellow, that Moffat. Rarely mixes with anybody or anything. Books, classes, and more books.
You're forgetting Betty Crawford. What she sees in him, I'll never know. She's beautiful and smart, too.
Yeah, she's very devoted to him. Doesn't play the field, like some girls I know.
She coming to the hop tomorrow night?
Yeah, with Louis.
He won't be there. Not if the autopsy's for tomorrow night.
Him and 15 other guys. All of you will be dancing with tears in your eyes. Because the boy in your arms is a girl.
You doctors to be always spoil our social life with your all-night study routine.
That's all part of a doctor's training. Getting used to the irregular hours of a doctor's life.
Oh, here they come now.
Gee, she looks like she's just seen a ghost.
Hi, gang. What's new?
Hi, Betty.
Don't tell me you took her to the morgue to look at all the dead bodies.
I just had a rendezvous with the rattlesnake. It crawled into the car while we were parked. But Louis killed it.
Gee, no wonder she's pale.
I'd have fainted.
Lou, I saw Professor Rayburn on the way down. He said the coroner might have a stiff ready for us by tomorrow night.
Hey, that's great. Yeah, as soon as the city coroner confirms it, he'll let us know the exact time.
Well, this autopsy begins our careers in medicine. And anyway, maybe it won't happen tomorrow night.
There you are.
Hey. Oh, boy, does that look crazy.
And here's your check.
Check. Hey, is this a price? Or is that your telephone number?
You'll have to do better than that, Tiny. I heard that one about 5 years ago. It was a joke about an IQ test then.
Come on, let's eat. This is great. Saccharin tablets. Help to keep the weight down. I gotta make that fraternity. Hey, you know what? I heard that music is a real fine form of exercise. Especially dancing to it, too. You wanna? Sure! Come on.
We're here drinking for the bucks.
Yes, we are.
The hard stuff.
Go Bucks!
Yeah! Woo! So we were here looking for our new house.
Yes, but why are we drinking for the Bucks?
I don't know.
We're drinking for the Bucks. I'll just tell you, because we are in the championships, and this is the first time in how many years did you say?
47.
47 years, yes.
By the time you guys watch it, it'll already have been passed.
So you'll know the outcome already, but
We don't, and we're excited.
because they play tonight.
And
against the Suns. We're playing against the Suns. Phoenix. This is fun.
Go Bucks! So yeah, we got distracted by this little party here. But we are here because we thought maybe we'd get a sorority house for our new house because Morgan never done her house. I've never been, no, I was never the party girl back in the day. I do think because I'm really bad at spells.
Well, the Ragers, you do.
Yeah, I was the serious one studying and I'm still bad. So I was like, why not party now?
It's going to take me a week to recover this.
Yeah, you just don't recover like you used to.
No, I don't.
It's hot right back up.
So, yeah, we're going to go house shopping.
Yes, because Morgan burned down our house and we need to find a new one, but these houses are beautiful.
And now I'm partying because this is how I'm coping with what I did.
We're thinking of moving to the college town. Yeah, go back!
A few legends around here. Well, there's 3 cemeteries that kind of form a triangle spread throughout Whitewater. Supposedly Mary Worth, who Bloody Mary's based off of, is buried in Whitewater. There is also like a legend, I'm pretty sure this one's true, I'm pretty sure there's a news article about it, but like the body of a little girl, like her coffin was moved onto campus by the fountain downtown. And it was just like found there.
Anything to add?
The Witch Tower. Supposedly in the library archives, there's this like haunted book that you have to, you can't read it, but you have to have like the librarian watch it or show it, because supposedly people have read it and they've gone like mentally crazy or they've committed suicide.
Yeah, there's like the story of like, there's like, I'm pretty sure there's a few students and like a professor who read the book and they all like in some way, shape or form killed themselves by either like jumping off the dorms or whatever. There's the Witch's Tower where there's like the rumor where if you run around it 10 times at like midnight, you'll be like haunted for the next few days. Remember that one time we went to the beach and there was a pentagram like poured in black sand, and then we went to the beach for like the evening, and there was a big like maybe like 15-foot diameter circle like pentagram down like with like black sand or something, or like ash, I don't know, it was black gritty substance. And then we went back the next morning at like 10 a.m. just to hang out because there was nothing to do all summer and it was completely gone. That one was weird.
That's weird. Yeah.
That was weird. Because we were bringing Ashley and Emily, and we were like, you guys got to check this out. And then we pull up and it's just not there. And then they were like, yeah, okay.
Anything else weird happening around here?
Walk around.
Oh, dude, my dorm I think was haunted freshman year. There was once, so I lived in Wellers, and in the hallways they have motion sensor lights. So like, so if you like open the door and step out into the hallway, they immediately turn on. And it was late at night one time, and it was probably like 2 a.m. and I was just up playing video games, and I hear like knocking at my door. So I get up to go check, assuming it's one of my friends. And when I look out the little peephole, the hallway lights were all just black, like there was nothing out there. And then when I opened the door, they all turned on, and there's nobody in the hallway. But whatever, I closed my door and I locked it. And then maybe like another hour and a half later, there's knocking again at my door. And I get up and immediately look through, I think one of my buddies is messing with me, and I look through the peephole again. Hallway's black. I open it up, they all turn on immediately. And there's just nobody. So that was fun. Danny, my roommate, wasn't there that weekend, but he stayed in that same floor over the summer for like summer courses, and he said the same thing happened to him in the middle of the night, like where he'd get knocking, but the lights would be off.
No, thank you.
A weird piece of lattice little triangle.
That's a thank you.
But yeah, here's another one that says Mary Worth.
Oak Grove Cemetery.
There's a picture of the Witch's Tower, and like the creepy thing is the bars on top of them, they curve like inwards, so that makes people think that it's meant to keep something trapped inside rather than like people going over them.
The frog
look like they're going to provide a lot of kicks this year, Howard. What do you got cooked up for the initiation?
Well, the radiology class has some new routines worked out for the budding medics. I hope the boys can take it. I hear they got hold of some stunts tried out at Yale and Cornell. Not to mention jolly old Oxford. They even have one from the University of Naples, which dates way, way back.
Bella Napoli. So what do you got, a paisan?
Well, to tell you the truth, it's pretty gruesome. I don't know whether fellas are going to be able to take it or not.
Sounds terrific.
Hey, what gives? Buddy, not a meeting. Besides, we can't give the pledges out their routines until after I see how they make out in their first autopsy, which I think will be tonight.
Jason, bring the bass.
Professor Rayburn. Hello, Moffat. Professor Rayburn, may I ask a favor of you?
Why, certainly. What is it?
Well, I understand that you use a student to assist you at your autopsies.
Yes, but that shouldn't concern you. I usually pick seniors.
Well, I was wondering if I might help you.
That's odd. Most of the fellas try to dodge it. They give me all kinds of lame duck excuses, from heart condition to athlete's foot.
Well, I think it'd be very interesting, and, well, may I, sir?
Well, all right. I tell you what you do. You go by the morgue just before class and slip into a surgical gown. And I'll give you your instructions.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah.
Hello? This is Dr. Rayburn. Oh, yes, Carl. You have one ready? Oh, no, it's not too late. I'd rather have it tonight. Well, you see, tomorrow is Saturday, and there's no class until Monday, so... Oh, that'll be fine. Yes, I'll notify the class immediately. Thank you. Speaking.
Oh, Professor Rayburn.
Yes. Will you notify the boys to be at the City Morgue, 315 Broadway, at 8:45 tonight?
Yes, I'll get word to the others. The City Morgue, 315 Broadway, 8:45 tonight.
Thank you.
Right. This is it, fellas. City Morgue, 8:45 tonight. Listen, I'll go over to Morrison Hall and tell the rest. And Jim, you go to the North Dormitory and spread the word around. Let's go. Hurry up, we have to be at the morgue in 15 minutes. Howard, can we use your station wagon?
It's all right with me, but let's get going.
And Jerry, you can take 6, can't you?
Yeah, I can take 6 with me.
Good. We'll see you there. And remember, 315 Broadway. Come on, let's go. Be there. 315 Broadway.
Gentlemen, this is your first gastrovascular dissection. It is the threshold of your future medical career. Some of us may succeed, and some of us may falter. However strong we may feel, some of us cannot overcome certain inner emotions. And when we view an autopsy of this kind, let me say to you to feel free to leave the class if you should feel nauseous. It is sometimes difficult for us to accustom ourselves to the callousness of what is to follow. Mr. Moffat, will you roll in Mr. John Doe, please? Mr. John Doe left this world with one possession on him, a gold ring. We shall begin with a pectoral incision. Then we follow with an abdominal incision. We have now exposed the gastrovascular cavity. We have cut through the epidermis, and you see this yellow mass. That's the fatty tissue. It reminds you of chicken fat. We then proceed to the right and locate the duodenum. Now, gentlemen, please pay close attention. I'm about to show you some of the striata and some of the non-striata muscles. Now, this is most important in the human body. I'll tell you what. Muscles make the body work lesser or a greater degree. For example, some of you throw a pitch with your right hand. Non-striata. And in your right hand, you had one that was a plus striate. It's really very simple. Now that we've made the pectoric incision, I want you to notice all the fleshy tissue up around the chest. This man must have led a very full and active life. Perhaps he was a carpenter or a bricklayer, but his muscle structure up in his chest is just fantastic. You notice all the tissue in here. See that? Now, another indication, gentlemen. When you look at the duodenum down here on the right, you find, all kinds of little things. They look like, chicken eggs sometimes, except chicken egg with a broken blood vessel in it, you might say. It's a kind of a dark, bloody mass. Well, it's not very pleasant to look at, I must admit, but it's most important to the human anatomy. Very important indeed. As we look in the upper chest cavity, you will notice something that is most important. The aorta. The aorta is the... Now, gentlemen, you have just seen your first medical dissection. Mr. John Doe has rendered posthumously a great service to medical science. Tomorrow he will be transferred to the General Mausoleum of the Raven Hill Cemetery, where he will be stored for about a week in the receiving vault. After that week, he will probably be buried there in Potter's Field. Mr. Moffat, you may escort Mr. John Doe to his drawer.
Well, hello again.
Hello, hello.
We are in a really weird spot here.
Yes, we are. We are at the Whitewater Witch's Tower.
This tower is the center of all the legends regarding Whitewater witches and haunted things, and the reason it is dubbed Second Salem.
So the legend behind this water tower is where the witches that lived in the older homes out here in Whitewater would come to practice. There's supposedly an underground tunnel system that leads here, and it lures a lot of evil things in, is what the legends say. Supposedly there's an all-white room in there.
Yes, and they would use it to conduct
Seances. Yep. And also the older fence, obviously before this one, the spikes on the top would point inwards as if to keep somebody inside.
Yeah, instead of keeping the public out, people theorized that it was meant to keep something in, because why would it point inward?
Now, here's a little interesting fact about this property and the American spiritualism movement. Whitewater is home to the first and only Institute of Spiritualism, which was founded in 1889.
Yeah,
yes,
1889.
By a man named Morris Pratt. Morris Pratt bought this property and had this water tower built. For the city, obviously, it did deliver water, but considering that Morris Pratt is the founder and pioneer of the spiritualism movement, and then he buys a water tower, which now
is haunted.
Is haunted. It's supposedly haunted, and that's really too much of a coincidence for me, because I think the rumors have to come from somewhere. So, Morris Pratt, what did you do?
Yeah, this is pretty weird, and apparently the city was talking about replacing this water tower. Now, in 2016, it was made a historic landmark, so I believe they're going to keep it, but it's a 131-year-old tower at this point, so they want to replace it and I think build a new water tower for Whitewater.
Which I hope they don't, because this one's really cool. Now, I know where we're from, we still have our original water tower for the city, and then they just built another one, I think it's like a mile or so away, and it works just fine. So maybe that's an option for this beautiful historic piece of architecture, regardless of what it's used for. It's gorgeous.
Yes, and
Cream City brick. And do you know this Cream City brick was made in Burlington?
Really? That's cool.
We had a brick factory for a very long time, and we would get the sandstone from the quarry to mix with the bricks to make mortar and stuff like that, and we'd ship them up all over the country.
That's pretty neat. So the other urban legend is apparently if at midnight you run around this water tower 10 times, you become possessed or something. And I'm going to try it. Now, I know it's not midnight, and I don't know if I should go clockwise or counterclockwise. Which way should I go?
I want no part of this. But I know I'm going to get involved because I'm going to try and stop you. So we're going around the tower 10 times, Celeste.
Or you tell them about Mary Worth while I run around the tower.
Mary Worth. Fill me in on Mary Worth.
She was the person behind the Bloody Mary legend. So she was a witch in this area, they say. She's buried in one of the cemeteries here.
Yep.
And they don't know exactly what lore is behind her character, but it was what prompted the Bloody Mary legend to begin.
Yes. Yes, I'm going around the tower with you, so that's why I want you to explain this.
Oh,
because
okay, yeah. Are you doing clockwise or counterclockwise? Should each of us go one way?
You do clockwise to do something, counterclockwise to undo something.
I want to do it. I'm doing it.
Yep, and then I'm going to counteract that with. Whoa,
Are you going the other
times.
way?
No. We gotta go clockwise first, Celeste, and then we go counterclockwise.
All right.
Whatever bad mojo you bring on.
Well.
You know what? No, you're gonna go clockwise. I'm doing counterclockwise.
And there's 10.
10? We made it to 10?
10.
10. Okay, my turn.
All right, get running.
Oh.
Why is there a cookie here?
I don't know. Somebody stuffed a cookie with a feather in it. I don't want to know.
There's a cookie with a feather.
Here we go.
Yeah, it does take a while. Pick up my phone so she doesn't step on it.
Two.
Seven. Nine. One more, Morgan. Wait. You made it. You made it.
Oh. 10. I made it.
Woo! Yeah. Let's see what happens now. Who gets possessed and who doesn't?
Don't say such things.
Well, you guys, this is the Witch Tower, and we're going to see what happens.
Something happened to the lights. Don't let it come back for me. Please. It's dark. Somebody. I'm afraid.
What is it? What's the matter?
You were talking in your sleep. What's wrong? Having a nightmare?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. What are you doing with my book?
The Psychology of Fear. What are you scared of?
Come on, let's get some sleep. What's the matter with you?
I was just thinking.
Do you have to do it staring at me?
You know, every time you have a nightmare, you always say the same words. Don't turn off the light.
What are you doing now? Taking notes?
What does it mean, anyway?
Ask a psychiatrist.
Don't get touchy.
Well, how do you think it feels to wake up and find some guy staring at you?
I don't mean to bug you about it.
It's the same nightmare I've been having ever since I was a kid. It's got some meaning, I guess, but I don't know what it is. Maybe I've been around too many dead bodies. Look, if it annoys you, I can move to another room.
Oh, no, I didn't mean that. I just wondered.
Don't you ever have nightmares?
After that autopsy, I'll probably have plenty of them.
Look, it's 10 minutes after 4. Let's get some sleep, huh?
is it? What's the trouble, fellas? Well, the gals are still mad at us for going to the Moorfield tonight. How about you? You made up with Betty?
Well, not exactly. You know, I can't say I blame them, though. We did leave them stranded at the dance.
Alice won't even look at me.
I don't know how they have the nerve to want to speak to us even after last night.
I'm tired of playing second fiddle to a skeleton.
Yeah, they'd rather be with those dead bodies over there than with these live ones right here.
Excuse me.
Betty? Betty, wait!
I was hoping they'd get over it before we do it again for the Friday night.
That's right. It's a barbecue.
And also initiation night.
When are we going to get our initiation assignments?
The orders will be handed to us in sealed envelopes at 11 p.m. after the barbecue.
That ought to be a ball.
For whom? I hear some pretty gruesome story.
After that autopsy, what could be so tough?
Oh, that's where I came in. Hey, you're the only guy that didn't seem to mind it. Mr. Moffat, you may escort Mr. John Doe in. Say, I know what your initiation assignment should be.
Say, if you're thinking what I'm thinking...
Don't say it. We'll suggest it to senior committee.
Well, I'm game, just so long as I make the fraternity.
Hey, we're going to be late for class.
Let's go.
I'll see you, brother.
Boy, if they only knew what they're in for. Comes the dawn.
Brother.
Hello, Bob.
Oh, hi, Moffat. Say, you handled yourself like an old pro at the dissection last night.
How much nerve does it take to push a cart around?
One with a dead body on it?
You're trying to make it sound like a big deal.
Hey, what's the story on you anyway, Moffat?
I don't know what you mean.
I mean, what are you trying to prove?
And what makes you think I'm trying to prove anything?
You're playing it bold and fearless these days. For some reason, too. Why? To impress the fraternity committee?
Hey, look! I've been looking all over for you.
You found me.
You know Wayne Arnold?
Yeah.
He was killed last night.
You're not kidding.
Driving that hopped-up car of his. Slammed right into a truck. They said he was going over 100 miles an hour when it happened. I'm going over to the funeral parlor tonight, and I wondered if you wanted to come along.
Gee, I'd like to, but I better hit the books.
What's the matter? Scared, Moffat?
You know, as a matter of fact, I can make it. After dinner, okay?
Sure.
Well, I better cut out. I'll see you then.
So long, Bob. So long, Steve.
I said I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't. But I do now. When I was 8 years old, my grandfather died. And the coffin was in the living room. The night before the funeral, I begged my mother to leave the light on in my room, and she wouldn't do it. And I cried. And she told me if I didn't stop, my grandfather'd get up and give me a licking. And then she turned out the light and she left me. And I laid there all night in the dark, listening to all the sounds. Scared to death that body'd get up and come into my room.
Wow. Well, now that you know what the reason is, it won't bother you anymore.
I sure hope so. Look, do me a favor, will you?
Sure.
Don't tell anybody what happened.
Don't worry, I won't tell anybody.
You know how it is. You just don't want people to think you're chicken.
Well, nobody thinks that anyway.
I sure hope not. I don't want them to start. Come on, let's get out of here.
As it stands, fellas, we have 18 assignments ready, each in a separate sealed envelope. Now we've got 3 more to go. Jerry, Tom Neely, and Louis Moffat.
Say, I just got a great idea. Take this down.
Okay.
Why not have Jerry as Bacchus, king of wine? Now, tomorrow we forbid him to touch any liquids all day long, not a drop, mind you. And then at the barbecue, we let him have all the liquid he wants.
You mean give him the works at Silver Lake Fountain?
Great. Tom Neely. Oh, yeah. The homely boy in the chemistry class.
Yeah. Another great idea.
You got it? Now, we all know how these shindigs come out, don't we? Sooner or later, every boy and girl disappears into the shrubs. Why not have Neely now? Get this. Okay. And have Neely dressed as Cupid. Flashlight, bow and arrow, the whole works. Have him search through the shrubs and kiss every girl right in front of her date.
Be sure he wears his glasses for self-protection. Okay, now, Louis Moffat.
Louis Moffat.
Hey, Clark, where have you been? All of the assignments are made except one.
Except Louis Moffat. We've got a great idea, and it fits him to a T. It's terrific. Go on, tell him. Listen to this, fellas. It's good.
Well, at the autopsy, Moffat acted as if he'd played around with corpses all of his life. The entire procedure didn't bother him a bit.
A galvanized stomach, huh?
Professor Rayburn said that John Doe's body would be transferred to the Raven Hill General Mausoleum after the autopsy. Now, tomorrow night, after the barbecue, Moffat will be given...
Celeste, do you know where we're at?
We are, well, I know these are some effigy mounds.
Yes, we are at the Whitewater Effigy Mound Monument Preserve Park here in Whitewater. It's a really long name for it, and now I'm stuttering on my words because I'm in awe that we're here. There's several mounds here that have been discovered. Obviously, these date back between 350 to 1300 BC.
Yes, they're saying these are 2,000 plus year old
yes.
mounds, and there are quite a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like 14 or more mounds that are in this little system right here.
Now, not only are these effigy mounds can be burial mounds. Most of the time they were used for ceremonial purposes, celestial events, things like that have gone on. This site, though, in particular, has burial effigy mounds on top of ceremonial effigy mounds. And some of them are in the shapes of animals and stuff. I see an eagle here. I believe one of these would be a lizard. Another one is a bear and a badger.
Yeah, you can see like all the different shapes. It's really neat.
Yeah, some of these are circular, just regular circle mounds. Some of them are oblong or pill-shaped. It's pretty interesting. And there's some outside of the boundary here too that have been noted. So you always want to be very respectful when you come in here. In American customs, you bring an offering, which is why we have cigarettes here. We have tobacco offerings for when we enter. And as always, you treat this as you would a church, any other cemetery or whatnot. There is proper etiquette. Do not walk on the mounds. Don't take anything. Don't litter.
And then, when you come in,
be disrespectful.
We're going to scatter our tobacco offering, and then we're going to come in and announce our intentions here.
Yes.
So that's something that we want to do to honor this place and the spirit of this place.
Yes. It's a very sacred site to people many years ago, and I think that's so cool. So cool. Messenger trees and stuff, or like trail trees, trail markers, but fork trees like this, when there's 3 forks in them, they represent like spiritual significance. Sometimes they're called witches trees or fairy trees, but there is magic here. Okay, so we have our tobacco. No, you've never smoked a cigarette in your life?
That's true.
Proud of you. Proud of you. So we're gonna do. You're gonna roll the filter gently, and you see how it moves the tobacco up.
Yep.
Scatter it as best we can once we get down more. And our intentions for being here, Celeste?
My intention is to honor the spirit of the place, to get a feel for it and the history that is here, and also to show our audience this amazing place.
My intention is I do not want these to be forgotten, and people need to know that you are still here. And this is our history, this is our country's history, and the people who were here before the settlers. And I will take your paper too, get in my bag when you're ready. Safe travels, please.
Do you know why tobacco? I don't know.
Tobacco was like, it was used in religious ceremonies and for like relaxation and stuff. So like if you had visitors come, yeah, you always see like depicted the peace pipes and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what was in the peace pipes. They didn't smoke tobacco like we smoke tobacco. If you look at us in the Native American culture, those of us who smoke were very spoiled with tobacco. This was special stuff. It was like bringing out a fine bottle of wine when you had guests over, or to celebrate victories in battle, bountiful harvests, things like that. It was, you know, party favor. I don't want to say party favor because it was more than that. It was
to honor your guests.
Yes, yes.
So we are honoring this place. And thank you for letting us enjoy this.
It was exciting.
We are still at the effigy mounds, and oh, we found some mulberries.
We did find mulberries.
So we're staying on the pass, but right along these paths there's tons of mulberries.
Yep.
And they're delicious. So we wanted to show you more of the mounds, but unfortunately they're really grown over.
Yeah.
There's prickly stuff all over the place. The path is not well maintained, so it's really difficult to walk through. So we got back a little bit, but you really can't see much of the mounds.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is sad, but it still has a cool
vibe to it.
Yeah, the vibe here is really great. And it's been nice to come here and get covered in mulberry juice. And
share some mulberries with the ancestors.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like we're sort of breaking bread or sharing a meal with. Yeah. So,
again, these are the effigy mounds in Whitewater at the Effigy Mound Preserve.
Oh, also I wanted to say, if anybody has any other lore on effigy mounds, or if like we're missing, like we wanted to tell you guys how to approach respectfully, if you guys have anything, we want to update our information, have anything more to add, please leave us a comment. We always want to learn.
Yes.
Betty.
If you'll excuse me.
No, I won't excuse you. I'm going to talk to you, and you're going to listen.
I don't care about anything you have to say. Will you please get out?
Not until you listen to me.
Okay. But make it short, will you?
First of all, why are you sore?
You don't know?
Well, I imagine it's about leaving you at the dance, isn't it?
You know perfectly well what
I think that's a mighty thin reason. You know we had to make that lecture or flunk out automatically. We had no say in it.
I know that.
Then why are you mad?
I guess you really don't know.
Well, I'd certainly like to find out, if you don't mind telling me.
It isn't just the dance, Louis. It's the way you've been acting.
Oh?
You've been acting like some sort of Superman. At least that's what they say.
They?
They say you've been showing how fearless you are by wheeling dead bodies into classrooms. They say you've been acting like an oddball. They say you won't even let them like you.
They again.
You know what I think about they every time I hear that word? I think of some big, gray, shapeless monster with a million faces and a million voices. And when you look close, nothing at all. If you listen to they, Betty, you'll be running around in circles all your life. It's you that I care about, not they, what they say, what they think. How do you feel?
I don't know. How would you feel if you heard strange things about me?
Well, I wouldn't stop talking to you until I found out whether it was true or not. I wouldn't let they make any decisions for me.
You, Dr. Walsh.
I imagine we ought to make a decision. My vote goes for Miss Lund. Miss Alice Lund.
I'll go along with that, too.
Well, I vote for Miss Milford. Miss Ragdoll Milford.
Who?
He means the large one.
He's kidding. He's gotta be. You are kidding, aren't you, young man?
No, sir. To me, she's lovely.
Well, I'd hoped we could make a unanimous decision, but that's your choice.
Yes, sir. And, you know, I think you both ought to vote for her, too.
Oh, you do. Why?
Well, so I've been told. Miss Milford has heart and spirit and soul and generosity and kindness, too.
We are selecting the winner of a beauty contest, not a den mother.
Oh. Well, if you're only interested in superficial values, surface qualities... Oh, well, even speaking of surface qualities, just look at the...
That'll do. I think we've reached a majority decision. You'll make the announcement, Professor Rayburn.
I'll be glad to. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce that the judges have reached a majority decision. It is my pleasure to announce the Queen of the Bacchanalian Festival as Miss Alice Lund.
Hey, here we go. Here's the hot dogs, folks. Come on, let's get some hot dogs.
Waiting for us. Oh!
Hey, come on, let's get some, because there's going to be no one that...
Oh, I got one. Here, I'll get it.
I can't pick this up. It's like going to... I got it, not a look to the end.
Bacchus, the king of wine. Praise be Bacchus. Oh, no, you have 2 more minutes to go. Then you can have all you want.
I'm so thirsty, it seems like I've been without water for a month instead of just a day.
All right. Hey, fellas, His Highness craves to sup of yon nectar. Are we ready? Yeah. A tall, refreshing goblet of coke nectar.
Well, Bacchus, didst thou get thy fill?
It's coming out of his team. Well, did you spot any lovers?
Yeah, I'm afraid I did.
Oh.
But I'm not giving up so easy. I'm going to put this assignment on a paying basis.
Oh, honey, you're for me. What about tomorrow night?
I've got another one in my purse.
Oh, boy.
Ragdoll, let me ask you a question.
What is it, Tiny?
Did you bring the mustard?
What a cute little chick.
Oh, come on, Tommy. I know what your mission is. Tommy, come on.
Oh, I almost made 36 inches. See?
Hey, you did pretty well, Tiny, considering.
You mean I'm in? I'm a brother?
Well, not quite.
What do you mean?
Here's your assignment.
Let's see. Tiny. For the next 7 days, you will forego all food, whatever, with the exception of bread and water at 3 regular intervals a day. Oh, no, that's too much. I quit. Here, you can have my saccharin bottle and take back your assignment. I don't want to be anybody's brother that bad. Besides, I already got me a brother. And I got a sister, too. I'm going to go find Ragdoll because she likes me just the way I am.
Now, wait a minute, Tiny. Wait a minute.
What do you want?
You passed.
Yeah?
I was just kidding you. You passed your initiation. You won it.
Yeah?
Didn't have the heart to keep you worrying about.
Oh, you mean I'm a brother? Oh, boy. Wait till I tell Ragdoll.
It's almost 11:30. My assignment.
May I read it?
Sorry, darling. Against the rules. You shall go to Ravenhill Cemetery. Enter the General Mausoleum. In aisle 3, crypt 18, you will find the remains of autopsy John Doe. On his right angular finger, you'll find a gold ring, which you must deliver to the president of the Senior Initiation Committee upon your return to the campus. The Senior Committee will later make proper restitution through the caretaker of Ravenhill.
What's wrong, Louis? You're not scared, are you? You are. For the first time in your life, you're really scared.
Don't be silly. There's nothing to it. I've got to go.
Please be careful, darling.
I'll see you when I get back.
The Legend of Bloody Mary is something that's fascinated me for a long time because it's a game, it's a fun game. I feel like being daring, but it's also based on a legend, and I've been trying to research this legend and there isn't much out there. So I'm left wondering. So the rhyme goes, burned to death but bloodied first, scratches up and down her face, clawed out eyes, torn up ears, filled with sounds of her victim's tears. Say her name and all is fine, until that night when you will die. So Bloody Mary, it's a game that's primarily played by young people. It's kind of a psych out game. You go and chant her name in the mirror. You say Bloody Mary 3 times, especially with a candle lit, lights off, and then supposedly she's going to appear in the mirror before you. After this, it differs on what's supposed to happen. She may appear bloody. I've heard blood will run out of the faucet. She may drag you away. So it's kind of a daring thing. People do this in groups, like a party thing. Like, can we all go and do this together? And what's going to happen? So can you get to 3 times without chickening out? And supposedly Bloody Mary game was based on urban legend, but it was supposedly came from the story of Mary Worth from Whitewater, Wisconsin. Now, take all this with a huge grain of salt. The legend has it that Mary Worth was a witch. She lived in a cabin in the woods. She sold herbal remedies to people, and the people around her were scared that she would curse them, and they avoided her. Now, according to the legend, some of the young girls from the village started going missing. Some of the town folk went to Mary's cabin to look around, but she denied any involvement in it. And then also, according to this legend, her haggard, old appearance started to change. She looked more youthful, prettier. And then one day, a miller's daughter was using an herbal tonic that Mary Worth had given her for a toothache, and she was sort of entranced by it. And in this trance state, she started walking towards the woods, seemingly, not comprehending what was going on around her. And despite her parents calling her, she headed towards Mary's cabin, and the townspeople pursued her, and Mary broke this spell on the miller's daughter and fled into the woods. There she was shot by one of them in the hip. They pursued her, they caught her, one of them shot her in the hip to stop her. They tied her up, put her on the stake, and burned her to death. As she was being burned to death, she put a curse on the village and said that if they ever uttered her name in the mirror, her spirit would come and exact her revenge. Now, the villagers searched her house, found unmarked graves of all the missing children, and it turned out she was using their blood to make herself look more youthful. That sounds like a bunch of hocus pocus to me. So as interesting as this story is, witches weren't burned at the stake in North America, and we have 0 records of anybody being burned at the stake in North America. That was kind of a European thing. We hang witches here. And it doesn't seem like there's any real records of this time. So to me, it sounds like a complete urban legend. I haven't been able to find much else about Mary Worth. I know her grave is in Whitewater, Wisconsin. Some sources call her an axe murderess. I don't know how that fits into the story, but everyone agrees that she was the basis for the Bloody Mary legend.
Morgan, what do you think of this one? If you were like at this one, or there's some cool houses here. Look, I don't know, like all of these. I mean, we got to find a new house, and a frat house sounds fun.
It does. It does, and they're big, and they have lots of rooms.
Yeah, I mean, we could
and they're like the party place. Like, in case you haven't noticed, Celeste, since I burned down the house, I'm like in this terrible, like self-destructive style, like looking for block houses and party houses and now.
Well, hey, I'm on the party train too. Let's
party. I know. See, I dragged you down with me.
We'll be like, home. We have no home. Hunted, despised.
We're 2 really pretty girls that have no home.
So we're gonna party it up this summer. We can get a new home by fall, I'm sure.
Oh,
but
I'm sure.
For this summer, we can be couch surfers, nomads, adventurers.
What do you think of that pink one?
Oh, I think we found our house.
Yes.
Look, let's plan a little bit.
I like that one.
So let's see. If you have this house, we can just change the colors on it a little bit.
Yep.
I think I would like that.
I bet they all carry mace, though. I bet those girls all carry mace.
Oh, yeah. I think we can deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it might take us 3 or 4 raids to get in there.
We don't even have to raid it. We just show up for a party.
And never leave?
And never leave.
Okay, I like what you're saying here. Down there looks like a party. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go find the parties.
Yes.
I want to party with some more people.
Yes, I do too.
Ooh, this building looks cool.
Yeah, I like this. Well, that one next door.
Okay, I found our next party. I hear some music.
Yeah.
Walk sign is on across Main. Main. Walk sign is on across Main.
That was some party. That was definitely a party for the ages.
Yes, it was.
Now let's walk of shame at home.
Hey, Bob, have you seen Lou around?
Yeah, he should be back any minute.
Where'd he go?
On his assignment. Hey, what about you? Did you finish yours?
Yes, I asked everyone who lives on Howard Street for a penny.
And?
I got 23 cents.
23 cents? You were gone 4.5 hours and all you got is 23 cents?
It must be the recession. Say, what kind of an assignment did Lou get?
Well, he'll tell you. If he's able to tell you when he gets back.
You know, I heard you guys gave an assignment that dates back to the 15th century.
About that time.
Is that the one Lou got?
Hey, why all the curiosity?
Oh, I just wondered if Lou's assignment was as weird as mine.
Weird? Yeah, I guess that is the word for it. Weird.
Louis B. Moffat. I feared not. Yet fear dwells within all of us, young and old alike. Has terrifying fear ever gripped your heart?
I can't even pull myself up anymore. Oh, this is so
And
bad.
the cookie. All right.
Yeah, there's a cookie there with a feather. You want it, Celeste?
I think I'll pass because that sounds kind of gross.
It looks gross.
Anyway, so we really hope that you guys have enjoyed watching Ring of Terror.
I love this movie.
It's so bad, but so good.
It is
and
so
it's
good.
not really, I wouldn't necessarily call it a horror movie per se because there's not much, like, it's just the guy has anxiety and he's scared, and it's very relatable in that sense because there's no supernatural elements to it at all. It's just this guy being scared.
Yes. Which is it's pretty cool. Like, I like that. I love that psychological aspect
Yes,
behind it.
I do too, and I love all the college scenes. The beauty contest was a little bit iffy.
Toga.
Yeah. Oh, we need to have a toga party.
Yes, we're gonna have a toga party.
Woo! Yeah! So yes, we've had fun partying around Whitewater today. It's been a really fun experience. All the haunted stuff, the haunted history is fascinating to me. So I just love it. And Morgan, thank you so much for all the info on Animal House.
Yes, you're welcome.
And all this haunted stuff. And
had my exercise in today too.
Yeah, I did too. Running around the tower, I feel pretty good. So I don't think I possessed myself. So maybe like your way was the possessed way.
I hope I'll deal with it tomorrow.
Possessed with sleepiness. Should I get you home before you turn into a pumpkin?
No, I want to go crash some more frat parties.
Oh yeah.
So should we let them go so we can go do this and get on with our night? The night is still young.
It is.
So
night's young and full of terrors.
It is, and we are the terrors.
Yes, it's also dark. But
so, Celeste, I'm going to interrupt you because I really want to go.
You should.
As always, what are we going to do, Celeste?
We will hex you soon.
In a remote period of American history, there was among the high hills, not far from Tarrytown, a drowsy little Dutch settlement, long known as Sleepy Hollow. There are some who say that this enchanted region was bewitched by a high German doctor. Others say that an Indian wizard held his powwows here. Certain it is that some power held a spell over the minds of the good people. The whole neighborhood abounds with local tales of haunted spots and twilight superstitions, and the most fearsome spirit of all, the Headless Horseman. Now it happened that a very peculiar school teacher came to Sleepy Hollow. His name was Ichabod Crane. And to see him striding along with his tattered clothes fluttering about him, one might have mistaken him for the specter of famine descending upon the earth. His schoolhouse on a crisp winter day buzzed with the low murmur of his pupils' voices interrupted now and then by the authoritative voice of the master, accompanied by the crack of a birch stick. Ichabod's scholars were not spoiled, and all of this he called doing his duty. He was not, as you may have imagined, one of those cruel potentates of the school who joy in the smarting of his subjects. He administered justice with discrimination rather than severity. When school hours were over, he would often walk a student home, especially the ones who had mothers who were noted for the comforts of the cupboard. Knowing that his rustic patrons were apt to consider schoolmasters as mere drones, he would often render himself useful and agreeable. Then, late at night, sitting by the fire, he listened to old Dutch wives' tales of ghosts, goblins, and haunted fields. Especially the tale of the headless horseman. While listening, all snug by the chimney, Ichabod was only mildly apprehensive. But afterwards, on his walk homeward, what fearful shapes and shadows beset his path. Among Ichabod's musical disciples was Katrina van Tassel, the daughter and only heir of a substantial Dutch farmer. On his way to her house, Ichabod rolled his great eyes over her father's fat meadowlands. In his devouring mind's eye, he pictured to himself every duck roasted succulent brown, each little porker with an apple in its mouth, strutting turkeys on plates swimming in gravy. How he sighed and yearned for the blooming Katrina van Tassel, who would inherit all these domains.
Hear our voices joyously sing this fervent song, wafting o'er the hillside in the evening calm.
Ichabod's most formidable rival was Bram Bones, who was the hero of the countryside and Katrina's suitor.
Banish all your woes.
Ichabod loved to watch her tender face form sweet round vowels. Bram fumed with jealousy, but he knew he could not regain Katrina's affections by physically assaulting an obviously weaker opponent. So he employed his natural inclination for fun and mischief. Katrina sent Bram away. Bram left, but he vowed revenge. Ichabod rejoiced. Katrina had brushed aside the main impediment to his pursuit of her affections. Some time later, Ichabod was handed a note. An invitation to attend a party at the Van Tassel mansion. Ichabod imagined himself in the true style of a cavalier. He saw an admiring Van Tassel bestowing upon him his total wealth. He was certain that tonight he would win the heiress' hand. Ichabod, gallantly mounted on a borrowed steed, lurched along toward the Van Tassel estate. When he entered, the conquest of his heart was complete. A world of charms burst upon his enraptured gaze. Not those of the bevy of buxom lasses, but the ample charms of a genuine Dutch country table. Ichabod was a peculiar creature whose spirits rose with eating as some men's do with drink. Ichabod prided himself on his dancing as much as on his vocal powers. Not a limb nor a fiber about him was idle. To see his loosely hung frame in full motion, clattering about the room, you would think St. Vitus himself was whirling before you in person. He was the admiration of all present, except Brom Bones. When the dance was at an end, Ichabod was attracted to a group of older folks who sat and doled out their wild and wonderful legends. Many dismal tales were told about funeral trains and cries and wailings. Some mention was made of the woman in white who haunted the dark glen at Raven Rock. She was often heard to shriek on winter nights before a storm. Seeing Ichabod trembling in every limb, Brom Bones immediately added a tale of his own, an encounter with their favorite specter, the headless horseman of Sleepy Hollow. He affirmed that returning one night from a neighboring village, he had been overtaken by the midnight trooper himself. He raced home, and just as they came to the church bridge, the headless horseman bolted and vanished in a flash of fire. To Brom's satisfaction and delight, Ichabod was terror-stricken. Ichabod lingered behind, according to the custom of country lovers, fully convinced that he had won Katrina's heart. What passed between them, no one knows. But something went wrong. Was her encouragement of the poor pedagogue all a mere sham to secure her conquest of his rival? Ichabod, heavy-hearted and crestfallen, pursued his way homeward. It was the witching hour. All the stories of ghosts and goblins now came crowding upon his recollections. The night grew darker and darker. He had never felt so lonely and dismal. He was, moreover, approaching the very place where many of the scenes of the ghost stories had been laid. Suddenly, a strange sound caught the sensitive ear of Ichabod. In the dark shadow of the grove, he beheld a huge, misshapen, black, towering mass, like some gigantic monster ready to spring upon him. Ichabod burst forth into a fervent psalm tune.
Hear our voices joyously sing this fervent psalm.
Ichabod was momentarily relieved until he cautiously opened one eye and spied a horseman of large dimensions trotting alongside. Ichabod was never again seen in that region. Many stories were called to mind and considered and compared. But in the end, the old Dutch wives, who are the best judges in these matters, maintained that Ichabod was spirited away by the headless horseman. And to this day, it is a favorite story, often told about the neighborhood.
Dina, want to go for a walk? Oh, okay.
You're just in the water. Oh, down.
I'll pick you up, yeah.
Oh my god, I almost just fell backwards. Oh, that would have been so bad.
I would have laughed though.
Okay.
I'm going to take me home. I am sitting on one of these things, by the way. Do you want to scoot over?
No, it's perfect.
It's hurting. Yeah, scoot over.
I'm enjoying it.
I bet. That's gross.
It's actually like under my leg.
Oh.
It's not that bad.
Like an imprint.
Huh?
You have like an imprint.
Yeah, we have 5, 4.
I know we're filming. Ow, there's an ant biting me. Oh my god, not right there. Oh, that hurt. Oh.
So apparently they're taking steps to replace this.
Okay.
That was as of January